One.
Good morning. My name is Shane McMahon. I'm a student at Michigan State University studying supply chain management. This summer I did an internship through Danaher Corporation, and what Danaher does is they essentially have a bunch of operating companies below them, and they send out their interns to different operating companies. So I was sent to Miami, Florida to work at Beckman Coulter. And what Beckman Coulter does is they make medical devices, specifically for running your blood through them. So, some objectives and results from my internship. Well, my project was based off of what we call level 1 policy deployment. And what that means is that it's one of the highest strategic objectives of our company. So that policy deployment was focused on reducing what we call emergency service calls to the field on one of our products. And so my scope within that was actually looking at the repair actions. So what I'm looking for is to see if we see a failure in assembly early on, in-house assembly, does that failure occur later on in the field? What's the correlation there? So in the end, my goal there was to actually determine our repair effectiveness and then in turn identify what we call Kaizen opportunities. So opportunities to immediately improve on. So I was able to successfully do that and identified a couple Kaizen opportunities, and one was actually on a test step of ours, and that specific test step was taking around 120 minutes when it should have been only taking 20 minutes. So there was a big gap there, and I actually looked at that from a labor standpoint and how much that was, how much additional charges that was posing, and that was around $20,000 for the last 5 months. So that's an immediate opportunity for us to go and determine the root cause. Another opportunity was actually looking at those areas of variation that I identified and tying that to the field. And because the goal there is to continue to see how effective our repair actions are, and ultimately determine the root cause of these these areas of variation. So what did I like best about the internship? Well, I think it's a couple things. One, that I received a very meaningful project. It was clear to me from the start that this project had a large impact on the company and was directly impacting the bottom line. And that really drove me to work harder and to ensure solid results. I also like the fact this project allowed me to have freedom within the project. I wasn't stuck with a specific path or a specific set of instructions on you have to do it this way, this way, this way to get to this result. I was given a project, I was given some guidelines, but I was able to go about it as I pleased and strive for the results that I saw best. So what surprised me in my learning? Well, I think the thing, or the aspect that surprises me the most was the fact that we have all these in-class learnings and how much at Michigan State and how much they actually impact what I do at the company. There's a lot of concepts that come up. There's a lot of terms that come up that I wouldn't have known had I not taken those classes before. And that really helped me, one, fit in the corporate setting, and two, actually make an impact there. And ultimately, it helped me improve my analyses and really understand what the bigger picture was. So how did I grow as a person and a professional? Well, I think those two tie together in a sense. So as a professional, obviously I was exposed to a corporate setting. And this is a very large company. Danaher is a Fortune 200 company. And Beckman, the operating company I was sent to, is also a very large company. It has a very big impact in the medical world. So I was really able to take things from a textbook, I'm used to seeing things in a textbook, and actually see it in the real world, actually see real world examples. And that allowed me to really understand how the business world works and how I can make an impact in it. As a person, I was able to really develop skills such as time management. I was given a large scope within this project, and it really forced me to set dates for myself, to say, let's have this done by this time, let's have this done by this time, and let's have the final project around this time. And those are real life skills that you may learn in the classroom, but it's much more applicable out here in the corporate world. How will this internship help you in the future in terms of networking or job opportunities? Well, I've met a lot of people here at the company. We actually did networking meetings throughout the company with some of our leaders. Last week I actually sat down with the Vice President of Operations for Beckman Coulter and really just got to learn his background and talked about my background and what our goals are moving forward. And actually, these meetings are really important to me because I get to learn advice or receive advice from them and see how they got to the point where they're at. And this is all part of networking and staying and building a network for your future, which will ultimately lead to job opportunities. Danaher is the same thing. When we fly out to Danaher, we also meet with the leaders there and get a chance to network there. So it ties back to building yourself as a professional. Overall, it was a great experience in the internship, and I learned a lot.